Hello, Blasix and Equestron back again for our year in review.
Yes, what the year it was.
2023 was definitely an interesting year to be sure.
hmm One of the years of all time.
Uh, in most regards, yes, I'd say so for sure. All right. Let's go over notable events in our lives. Starting with in April, where I came to visit you in your home state of California.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't meet up for a couple of days because I wanted to go to Disneyland in Anaheim and meet up with
Right.
another friend there
Mm.
briefly for a bit.
Mm.
Yeah, and so when we did meet up, he drove over in his now retired car.
Think really retired, put out back and shot.
No, shot with nitro.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, we went in his car to go to Raising Cane's, where
Mm.
where I went for the first time. Have you been there prior to that?
No, I just remember you saying it like you heard it was good, so that's why we went.
Yeah,
And it was good. It was pretty good.
yeah. The Texas toast was fantastic. The chicken and
Mm.
the fries were also really nice.
Mm.
And I wish there were more of those Raising Cane's restaurants on the East Coast because I would go there more than Wendy's and McDonald's easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was so good that on my second trip this year, I literally got a plushie of a dog in a tree outfit that had Raising Cane's on it.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, we went to an ice cream place. The next day was when we started doing Universal related things. I think
Mm-hmm.
we went to the park itself on day two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were gonna meet me there, so I went there first at opening, and I went on the studio tour.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, I went to. There was the DreamWorks Theater for Kung Fu Panda thingy. They had the bad guys posters everywhere inside of the queue, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went in did the Kung Fu Panda ride. That's getting a sequel next year, which I guess that doesn't surprise me. It's a successful franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, I went on the studio tour while waiting, and then met up with you. We went to, uh, I think we went on the Simpsons ride first, and then we got a bite to eat at Krusty Burger.
Yeah. Well, we wanted the full Simpsons experience, so we did rides first, and then went and had a Krusty Burger.
Yeah. I got a green apple squishy and a double bacon cheeseburger.
Mm.
And then what did you get?
I think I just got the regular version of a Krusty Burger, and then I think I had a strawberry, it's like either a strawberry or a cherry squishy.
It was a
These were good.
no. I'm pretty sure it was a cherry one.
Yeah, cherry squishy.
Yeah, and
It was, it was, it was red, so I was like, okay, it's either one of those. But
yeah,
yeah, I think it was a cherry. Thinking about it further, I think it was a cherry squishy.
yeah. There was cherry, blue raspberry, and green apple. And I will say, I enjoyed it. It's not for me though.
Right.
And like frozen icy type beverages, I don't think are for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we went to on the Transformers ride because Super Nintendo World was still a little crowded at the time.
Yeah. And also we went on the Jurassic World ride as well.
I think that was after Super Nintendo World.
Oh, okay, I thought for some reason I thought it was before, but I definitely know it happened.
Yeah, we went on it, and then we were like, yeah, we're kind of tired, so we went back up. Yeah, yeah. But before that, yeah, and after the Transformers ride, I waited in line for like 20 minutes to get a Starman popcorn holder
Uh huh.
and a I think it was a super mushroom drink thing.
Mhm.
I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then we went to Super Nintendo World. We got our bands together. I got Luigi. You got what did you?
Mario.
Yeah. And then yeah. Then we went on the ride after like over an hour of waiting. It was solid.
Mhm.
It's better if you don't have to wear glasses, but yeah.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed the experience. In a very rare case, I think I enjoyed the experience of being in line than the actual ride itself.
Yeah, the queue was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, there's lots of things to look at, lots of things to take pictures of, and
Yeah, I can imagine that in like a year or two, it'll be more manageable to get in line and do the ride in a reasonable
Mm-hmm.
amount of time.
Right.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of things going on, especially in Florida. Like they're planning Epic Universe, and Super Nintendo World is a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently they're supposed to be completed by 2025, which is when I'll start traveling outside of state again, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but yeah, yeah, the world itself was great. It was a lot of fun. Do wish we spent more time in there as opposed to leaving the park early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But before we did leave the park early, we decided to do both of the illumination rides. Mostly because it was a scorching hot day, and we were like, "Yes, we need shade."
Yeah. I mean, the Despicable Me ride was decent, but the
Secret
not
Life of Pets
Secret Life
one
of
was
Pets.
boring.
Yeah, it was just kind of boring. It was just kind of there. Like it's like good for the kids, but not exactly enjoyable for the adults.
Yeah, and then we met, and then I got to take a picture with Scooby Doo. I went to the bathroom, and then we left the park.
Yep. And it was a fun day.
I think we also went to that disappointing arcade bar.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was definitely less lively than I remembered it, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, it felt it like it's not so much arcade so much as like it felt like it was an arcade that existed in 1987
Mm-hmm.
before arcades actually blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully that we'll be able to find a better one next time I show up.
Yeah.
All right. Then after that we went to after that, we did a day on City Walk. We went to this chicken place. Bread was really good. Chicken was solid. Okay, no, wait, I think the bread was good. The chicken was okay, and so were the fries.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't that much room to eat, so kind of just struggled to just stay in the shade while it was scorching out.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we looked through. Wait, trying to remember. Did we do that on the same day or different one? I don't remember.
What?
I know we did City Walk stuff, and then
We did City Walk stuff, and then it was pretty much like a day of waiting to go see the Mario Brothers movie.
yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. So yeah, we went to do some City Walk stuff, and I think that's when we did the bar thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day after that is when we went to go see the Mario movie. You've seen it
Mm-hmm.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then movie was really good. I really liked the movie theater itself. It was very clean and very modern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we actually managed to score tickets for earlier in the day, which was very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Sorry, my mind is still trying to remember. Yeah, yeah, we went first screening of that day. Yeah, very solid. Really love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then okay, and then we went to a candy store on the way out of there.
Right.
Yeah, and then we went to Bubblegum Shrimp, which like that might be my new favorite restaurant.
Yeah, it was a good. It's a good spot.
Yeah, we split some appetizers and the main course. I only just as of my trip to Florida earlier this month found out that you can actually replace the shrimp with chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually decided to get that same thing twice,
Mm-hmm.
which is really good. All right. Yeah, and then like the bread was good. The chicken, the fries, and the ribs were very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like for the first time in a while, I actually tipped the server. It was that good, and I think I actually did it twice over when I had it 2 times for Florida as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I do have the mentality of like you shouldn't have to because people like that should be paid properly, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then after that we went to the Chocolate Emporium where I got my liquid candy that broke in the airport, and I had to do some damage control.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost that backpack, but not the tote bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It definitely taught me a few things about bringing glass on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, it did not repeat, though. The airline was invasive enough to check my fucking bags. Thanks a lot, guys. You almost risked it happening again. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And then after that, I guess that was the last instance, and then I had an Uber drive me all the way back over to where I flew out, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then all the stuff before that, I just basically went to Disneyland, met up with a friend, going to a beignet place that we really wanted to check out. Beignets are actually really, really good,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, had a lot of fun. I had pictures with characters. And then basically to quickly describe the Florida one, it was basically like that, but using what I learned from the last trip to improve it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I met up with a lot more characters. I had less food, so I didn't have to go to the bathroom as much and miss out on things.
Right.
Uh, got the merch that I wanted, except for PhilharMagic stuff, which doesn't fucking exist.
No.
Well, it technically it does. It hasn't been sold in years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably get something on Amazon or eBay, whatever. And yeah, and I actually managed to smuggle a lot of snacks home. The only things I have left are 3 big Mickey gingerbread cookies and some Chip and Dale cheese puff snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have those soon, but yeah. Yeah, it was very solid for that. And now, without further ado, now we get on to the more important things like what the incidentals of what we did this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you have some lists. Let's go through each of them. What would you like to start with first?
Probably like to start with like the best movies I saw this year.
Okay.
Lots of this was like the year of the part ones. Lots of part one movies came out this year.
I do know that Mission Impossible had a part 1 for its 7th.
Yeah, like not all the part ones made it onto this list, but quite a couple of them.
Quite a number of number ones.
Quite a number of number ones. This one is more of like a personal bias of me putting it here. I know a lot of people. This movie just came out. A lot of people hate it, but I personally really liked it. Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire is number 10. It's down below there because not only is it a Part 1 movie, so it doesn't actually have an ending, but also it's one of those movies where they tell you a director's cut is coming, and so I'm just waiting on that. It's like, but that was a movie I really enjoyed. It was kind of like a more it was definitely a film that wears its influences on its sleeve because it's kind of it's a very Star Wars, Akira Kurosawa inspired movie, but in the same grungy style you expect from a director like Zack Snyder. With his slow motion, lots of operatic movie scores, and since I really dig that kind of style, I dug the movie. But number 9 would be Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One. Uh, that one also suffers from Part One syndrome, where it doesn't really tell you a complete story, but it's also a very good Part One. Uh, for a movie that's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, it moved really fast. I really liked the new characters that they had for it. The stunts were good as always. The plot was good as always. Took some turns I wasn't expecting, but and even though it ends on a cliffhanger, it was a very good cliffhanger that makes me excited for the next movie. Number 8 is not a Part One movie, but one I enjoyed nonetheless. Was the Super Mario Brothers movie. Uh, very enjoyable, very enjoyable movie from Illumination. I generally like Illumination movies, but this is probably one of their better movies. Uh, the visual style was great. I enjoyed Chris Pratt as Mario. I actually enjoyed most of the voice acting in general. The only one I was kind of iffy about was Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong because he does the laugh. It was more. It felt more like Seth Rogen just doing a bit rather than being Donkey Kong. But I'm like, well, how else would I imagine Donkey Kong to sound like? I never really had a set voice for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I really have from him. So I'm just like, I guess he did okay, but it also just felt more like Seth Rogen being Seth Rogen. But overall, I really liked it. Jack Black was great. I hope Peaches gets nominated for an Oscar. I would love that, just to see Jack Black performing at the Oscar ceremony. And then number 7 is a sequel, which is Extraction 2. Definitely one of those very hardcore R-rated like action movies. I really enjoyed the first movie, but the second movie kind of ups the ante with the action and the cinematography. And I think Chris Hemsworth is like one of the last like one like the only real like action stars out there. Could headline a movie and be like, oh yeah, I'll go see it. Like I remember talking with my dad like earlier in the year, kind of being disappointed that we don't really have those kind of action stars where you could put their last name on a poster and be like, oh yeah, I want to see that. Like we don't really have a lot of Schwarzeneggers, Van Dammes, and all that stuff. I think Hemsworth is a little bit up, is a little bit up there in terms of like you could put his last name on a poster for an action movie and people will go see it. But yeah, Extraction 2 definitely felt like a throwback to those like super violent action films of the day. Number 6 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I like the first Spider-Verse movie more than this one, but this one was a really good. This one was really good. Animation style was definitely as great as it was. It was great. Definitely enjoyed the story. I do think like most Part One movies, it suffers from the Part One syndrome where like the first like half of it is mostly set up, and then maybe like the last hour actually kind of moves forward with the plot, and then just ends on like, oh yeah, wait for the next movie. But this movie did it pretty well. I do think the movie kind of picks up steam when they go to the Spider Society, and then we actually get more stuff with Miguel O'Hara and all that. Ending was really good, even though I felt like the movie ends like 4 times. Like there's like 4 different instances where I felt like it could have ended with to be continued, but it ended up settling on the kind of the best version of it. But overall, like it was good. Not my top 5, but definitely in the top 10. Number 5 is Oppenheimer. Well, I mean, what else really needs to be said about that movie other than like it was a very well made Christopher Nolan movie. 3 hours went by and felt like it was like 5 minutes, as most Christopher Nolan's movies feels like. Acting was great. Pacing was solid. Uh, feels like a best picture front runner, but we'll see. Number 4 is Godzilla minus one. Uh, I think Japan really knows how to make a Godzilla movie. That's for sure. Because the last movie that they made was Shin Godzilla, which I also really enjoyed. I sort of prefer Shin Godzilla more over Godzilla minus one, but because Shin Godzilla was more like a dark comedy, a bit of a satirical take, while Godzilla minus one is more of a traditional blockbuster take on Godzilla. Nevertheless, considering that Godzilla minus one is number 4, it's obviously one of the best movies on that came out this year. exceptionally made, great acting, great special effects, especially for the budget that they had. And overall, like I was emotionally invested throughout the whole thing. Number three is the only good Marvel movie came out, only good MCU that came out this year, which was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh man, come on, dude. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I won't disagree that Guardians 3 was good, but the
Mm.
only.
Or the only MCU movie that deserves to be on this list in my personal opinion.
For the record, I'd
Uh,
probably put the Marvels right above it somewhere.
mm. And that was definitely like a very good conclusion to the Guardians series, although it does tease at a Chris as a, not a Chris Pratt show, but a Star Lord um, return at some point in time. But it does very much conclude a lot of arcs that were set up in the other Guardians movies and Avengers and all that stuff. And Definitely, it was definitely Rocket Raccoon's movie, which I thought was a really good decision. Bradley Cooper is amazing as always, and so it was very I was intrigued throughout the entire film. Number two is John Wick Chapter 4, which is the best action movie of the year. For a movie that's
All
like
right, you know what? I'm gonna stop you right there and have you move on to the next one because I want to watch John Wick at some point.
I'm not gonna spoil it or anything like
I
that,
know.
but
I'm just saying, yeah, like we already know how good John Wick is, and
yeah,
we'll have a whole John Wick discussion when I
yeah,
eventually get to all four of them.
yeah. Well, like all I can say is that there's no bad John Wick movie, and this is definitely one of the best ones. And number one is Suzume. 3 years.
Are you serious?
Yes. Makoto Shinkai is a very gifted director in that he can make the same movie 3 times in a row and still make it amazing. Uh, and so like it has the best title drop I've seen in a movie in the last decade. The story was really good. I thought the characters were really good. It was again moved very fast, but not in a way that felt rushed. And I thought it had a really good ending, really good emotional through line, and overall like it's like I didn't have any issue with it. I mean, it's probably not like the best of the three movies that he made, which of Your Name, Your Weathering with You, and this, but it's still like very much a 10 out of 10 movie to me.
Yeah, that
So,
would Suzume would probably be in my honorable mentions if I had made honorable
mm,
mentions for these. But I'm just
mm,
gonna be yeah. I have a list of all the movies I saw this year.
mm,
I'm not going to include any that were originally released at a different point in time, like The Big
mm,
Lebowski, but that is definitely a solid movie that I wish I saw a lot sooner.
mm.
Yeah, no lists. I'm just gonna quickly go over the ones that I watched. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. The movie Scarlet Bond was very solid.
Mm,
Glad I watched it. The dub actor for the princess, I think it was Sharon Melee, one of my
mm,
favorite VAs. Did a fantastic job as always.
mm,
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the worst of the MCU this year, I will say, and I
mm,
feel bad for it because it had a lot of potential, but then it was
mm,
just like, oh well, we're just gonna separate everybody, and it's just gonna be like, oh well, you're off doing like your own little adventures, I guess.
mm,
And like, I kind of understand why, but at the same time, it's not really the point. I
mm,
don't know. It just feels. I think Ant Man works well if he's bouncing off of other MCU characters.
mm.
Yeah,
I also think Ant Man works better as a small scale, well, not no pun intended, as more of a small scale threats rather than like Avengers style threats.
yeah. If it is Avenger style threats, better when he's working with like other heroes at the same
Yeah,
time. Like,
rather than himself.
yeah, that's why Infinity War works so well. Wait, no,
Mm,
I mean Endgame.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible movie, but definitely like kind of the weaker of them.
Weakest of the three. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then skipping Ghibli movies that are not Blue Boy and the Heron. I saw Suzume as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did not think of it as highly, but as it is definitely the weakest of the three Makoto Shinkai movies as of late. But
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely a solid movie as a whole for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Mario movie, saw that. Uh, yeah, and it's actually my favorite movie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Spider Verse, when we get to it in a moment, close second for sure. Um, Guardians 3, saw that as yeah. What the hell? Uh, yeah. Yeah. Guardians 3. Do definitely agree. It is very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was definitely an interesting choice of basically benching Rocket for like most of the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I think that's probably the reason why I don't like it as much as you do, is because Rocket was my favorite character of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm like, you bench him and you basically make things a little too real.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that was the point. They love that guy so
Yeah.
much that they
Yeah.
want to make
Pretty much.
sure he's okay and save him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt for Rocket and the Otter, and how
Mm-hmm.
the Otter couldn't survive, and that was just a bit heartbreaking. Yeah. Across the Spider Verse, also like what more needs to be said except that ending has Gwen bringing together everybody from the first movie, and I'm like, yes, more Penny in the third one, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the animation, music, everything is just like peak top notch. Wouldn't change a
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Elemental on June 21st. It's definitely not as bad as I wouldn't say as people have said, because people have been turning around on the movie.
Yeah. Once they actually saw it.
Yeah, and the advertisement really did not do this movie justice at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that kind of perception sticks with you just a little too much. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can get past it, it is definitely a solid film. Not
Mm-hmm.
not one of Pixar's best, but at the same time, definitely far from one of their worst.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how's we Spirited Away? Oh my God, I did not see that many movies this year. I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was surprisingly good.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely a lot of liberties taken from the rest of the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think I can spoil it without repercussion. Matthew Lillard as William Afton,
Mm-hmm.
fucking like the cupcake bites his costume, and then like the spring locks start killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is like one of the most satisfying moments of any film I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty obvious that there will be a sequel soon.
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you make a movie for
Do,
$20 million
do,
and it
do,
makes
do.
over 200, there's bound to be a sequel.
Yeah. And one thing I really did not expect was the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's fan song was the
Mm-hmm.
first song in the credits, and I'm like, that's genius, but how the hell did you pull that off?
Probably paid the fan the guy who made it a lot of money.
I think that was I don't remember exactly. It was a I don't I think it was Black Griffin,
Mm-hmm.
a Brony musician, and I'm like, of course he'd probably do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the Marvels, which is actually my favorite of the MCU films this year,
Mm-hmm.
because unlike a lot of other people, I don't hate Captain Marvel,
All right.
and like her teaming up with these two heroes, and I'm like, yes, very nice. I will say though that I think the weak link in this whole movie is actually uh, I Monica Rambeau as
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, she it felt like she didn't really belong there.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, oh, I just got these powers, and then like, oh well, we're meeting up. Hi.
Yeah.
Like at least with Miss Marvel, it's more like she's connected because of the bracelet,
Mm.
and then Captain Marvel's going around doing missions with Fury, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that actually makes sense.
I do think one of the smartest movies that movie did was make Miss Marvel more the lead of the movie.
Yeah, yeah, definitely for sure.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm just gonna say it right now. Them fucking bringing, literally leading into, I'm assuming Deadpool 3,
Mm-hmm.
with them going to the Fox Marvel universe.
Mm.
Like there's no other explanation. That has to be where they're leading it.
Right. That would be funny. Just Deadpool encounters Monarch and be like, "What the hell are you doing here? Or who are you? Aren't you somewhere else? We're just supposed to be in some other movie."
Yeah, yeah. If that's where we're leading it with Deadpool 3, then I'm really happy.
Mm.
All right, and then we have Wish.
Mm.
I wish I liked this movie more than it actually is.
I think a lot of people wish that they liked the movie more than it was.
A lot of the references to, like, okay, villain is a bit disappointing, hero is a bit disappointing, movie itself is a bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his villain song and the I Make This Wish songs are all right,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels weak for a 100th anniversary movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's it. I will
Okay.
be I will be watching Migration and Wonka
Mm-hmm.
on January 1st, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess that I'll at least like both of them a little.
Mm-hmm. You remind me of probably gonna watch Migration this weekend or something. I've been wanting to watch it.
Yeah,
But I mean, even though since you were more like broad in your list, I guess I could talk about the worst movies I saw this year.
yeah, okay.
Uh, this one, it's sort of controversial, but it's not like it's not on this list. It's not like even though it's number 5 on the worst list, it's not necessarily like a terrible movie. It just probably the most disappointing movie I saw this year. Barbie. I was actually really looking forward to it, even though the trailers weren't that great. But I think the movie itself, I think the production and design was fantastic. Ryan Gosling was great in it. The acting itself was all fine and dandy. I just think, I just felt like
The
the movie
direction that
was
they went was
the
not as good.
direction that the direction that they went. I thought was very ham-fisted. Just very like not it actually wasn't very well written in terms of what it was trying to achieve.
Do you feel like this
It
movie would have worked better if it was made a few years ago?
either was made a few years ago, and if they took a different approach with Barbie in the real world kind of a thing. Because like one movie that I kept thinking about and this is a really random movie to think about when watching the Barbie movie, was the Brady Bunch movie. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Like the Brady Bunch movie was pretty much like what would happen if you put the Brady Bunch in the 90s. It's like and what was great about that movie is like whenever it cut to the Brady house, it's shot like a typical sitcom, like with static camera angles, very like overblown. Yeah, all that stuff, classical music, everything like that. But whenever they went outside, it was very grungy, very like camera work was different, and things like that. But they still kept their personas. It's just everyone else is like, who the hell are these people? Why are they so weird? It's like, and I wish that the Barbie movie was like that, and it doesn't have to be exactly, but sort of within that tone. But the Barbie movie was like it felt like it was more focused on delivering a message rather than delivering a story. And so it's like, oh, would you like your message with a side of message, and would you like message for dessert, kind of a thing. It's
That,
like,
that that's usually why I don't like some movies. It's because the
yeah,
message is a little too.
like and it's actually like really funny, like because I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, well, it's like, well, I mean, like I'm a guy, maybe like maybe it's just not it's not connecting with me because I'm a guy, whatever. I could accept that. But it's funny that every woman I've talked to doesn't like the movie either. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's not just me then. But yeah, it was very just like it was like one of those like there's a lot of good things about it, but there's a lot of bad things about it. So it's like it's not like a one, it's not, but it's not, but it's like kind of like a 5 out of 10 movie. Um, Number four, I actually saw this one recently, but I did not enjoy it at all, which was 65. Which is Adam Driver fights dinosaurs, and you think a movie about Adam Driver fighting dinosaurs would be entertaining? It was not. It was a very boring movie. I thought I would like it because it was from the same studio that made Crawl, which was like a really good like monster like alligator in a house movie. It was also produced by Sam Raimi and all that stuff. And this one was written by the guys that made the A Quiet Place, and so that's why I was really excited as well. But it was a very like nothing burger movie. The main character wasn't all that interesting. The girl he was with was very annoying. Surprisingly, the girl that he was with was also in the Barbie movie, so I guess there's a connection there. Um, but like it was just very unremarkable movie that like I would be fine with not seeing again.
Yeah, all right. What was number three?
Number three is The Little Mermaid.
Okay. One thing I forgot to mention is that I was stuck watching the last part of The Little Mermaid on my flight.
Right.
I think it was on the flight there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was stuck watching that because like somebody like 2 rows down on the left in the aisle was watching it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm glad I chose not to watch it intentionally.
Yeah,
because like let's go over the ending for a second. Okay, so they're just rowing in their boat, and then that's the end.
yeah. Obviously, looks like they're on a studio set, not in the ocean.
Like I'm pretty sure I'm fairly certain that Halle Berry is a nice person.
No, yeah.
She is not Disney princess material though.
Yeah. And she seems like a perfectly like nice person in the interviews and all stuff. She has, and so like I have nothing against her.
I have nothing against anybody who's been in these live action films, except for the people who thought they were a good idea.
Yeah. It's obvious that she wanted to put her own spin on the character, and I think as a whole, her performance is perfectly fine. I just think that this movie just suffers the same fate as most other Disney remakes suffer. Is that it's just the same movie but longer and worse made. And I think all the changes that they made to this one was kind of the most egregious of them, because this one definitely felt like a case of let's fix what's not broken, and trying to fix it, they broke it. Like and it just made a lot of things less believable, made a lot of things less entertaining, and it just became like a kind of a slog a little bit. And I mean, there's things I liked about it. Like I think Melissa McCarthy actually did a pretty good job as Ursula, and I think I think only the Poor Unfortunate Souls rendition was actually decent.
I think the reason why all these things seem to be failing is because the people that like the people who are greenlighting these things don't understand why they were important to begin with, and they're just like, it made money. Let's have it make even more money as a different thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they're fucking old men who have been living in Burbank, California, on royalties and checks and everything for the past 50 years, like a bunch of fucking sleazeballs.
Yeah, and like this one also felt like this and the Mulan remake have a thing.
I saw Mulan. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, they have the thing in common where it felt like they were made by people who didn't like the original movie.
2 words: new blood.
Yeah,
bring in new blood for fuck's sake.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we were kind of embarrassed by the movie we made before, so here's what we feel is a better version of it, and it's like not a better version of it at all.
Yeah, one last thing about Disney, it's pretty sad that in the last 5 years, they've made more live-action films than they have animated films.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
Number two.
Number two is will probably be a surprise to you. Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, no, it doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah.
I think the problem with the FNAF movie itself is like you need to be a fan of this stuff in order to
Yeah.
really get anything out of it. Anybody
Yeah.
else? No.
Yeah. Like I liked. I like that it felt like it was made by fans of the games. I like the lore and like the setting and all that stuff. It just didn't make for a very interesting movie. I was kind of bored through most of it. I didn't really care about the story of Mike Schmidt and his sister and all that stuff. I didn't really like the whole I'm gonna use dream. I'm gonna sleep on the job. And like and dream about stuff.
And you know another thing that like he's sleeping in a specific area that reminds me of something else that I don't like. It's Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Yeah. It's like I kind of wish the movie was like the games in the sense of like him trying to keep the robots from trying to get him. Like more emphasis on the security cameras, even more emphasis on jump scares.
Yeah, no,
Very
no.
little jump scares.
But if you know the lore, you know that the robots are being possessed by children that don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
So,
Like, but it was just like one of those like get on with it kind of movies. It's like but the animatronic work was fantastic.
it was done by the Henson Company, and it looks really good.
And it looked great. Like, and I was like, man, I wish the whole movie was like this. Number one is a movie I have no good things to say about. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh, that's a shame.
I mean, I was already going into it kind of like, I don't know about this, and then it somehow managed to be worse than I imagined.
So, tell me, is Harrison Ford too old for this?
Just a little bit. Like, he's either too old for this, or the movie makes it a point to make him too old for this.
Oh, so they have even more of him being old jokes, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That was the problem with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull!
It's like, and what's funny is I rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull prior to watching Dial of Destiny. And I didn't really have much of a problem with it when I saw it back in 2008, and I watched it again, and I was like, this is a perfectly entertaining movie. Like, it definitely isn't the best one.
Okay, who directed this? Who directed Dial again?
James Mangold. He made good movies. Like, he made Logan. He made 4v Ferrari. He made 310 to Yuma, the 310 to Yuma remake. So he can make great movies. But this one felt like a very work for hire, directed movie. It didn't really feel like his movie.
It's sort of like feels like maybe I don't know. I'm gonna eventually watch Indiana Jones movies, but I'm gonna probably make you watch Dial of Destiny with me again.
But yeah, I was bored out of my skull, out of my crystal skull.
For fuck, I was gonna make that joke.
I was bored out of my crystal skull for this movie. Like, none of the action was good.
I'm gonna turn the Dial of Destiny to another channel.
Like, none of the action was good. The special effects weren't really good. The acting wasn't very good. Like the writing was god awful, even by Indiana Jones standards. I did not like any of the new characters. Like, it was just the movie pretty much makes it a point that Indiana Jones in this installment is broken, a broken old man who's miserable throughout the entire film. So it was just a miserable movie about a miserable old man being old and miserable, and
wait, wasn't there another movie about a miserable old man being miserable alone this year? I don't know what it was. I think it was. Wait, weren't there two of those?
Probably. There are probably Lucasfilm movies too.
No. I think it was this one guy is riding on a bus or something. I don't fucking remember.
Oh, well, I think that's a Man Called Otto.
Oh, yeah.
That was more of a dramedy. They sort of have, and that's a little bit more heartwarming, I guess. It's but this one is not that movie. I had nothing. I am like no, not even like the John Williams score is any good. I'm surprised that he even made the short list for best score at the Oscars.
Yeah, so you didn't see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey then?
And I did see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. An honorable mention would be Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which I saw last week.
Dishonorable mention.
Yeah, dishonorable mention.
Yeah, so you did not see Blood and Honey.
I did not see Blood and Honey.
Good.
I seen.
It would have been number one for sure. I'm pretty positive.
I've seen all like the cut down reviews of it, like Cinema Snob, Kill Count people, and then like in the Dr. Wolfula, they all made video reviews about it, and those I felt like I saw the best parts of it.
The best
quote,
part,
unquote,
the ending.
Quote unquote best parts of it.
And even then, the ending sucks too.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and now we move on to, I guess we'll do anime because we'll save games for last.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch like a lot of new anime. I think of the ones I see on your list, like the best one I saw was Tomo-chan as a girl.
Ah, funny enough, that is also my number one anime of the year.
It was like Tomo-chan as a girl and Nagatoro season 2, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, for the record, yeah, not to say that things go downhill after Tomo, but for the record, Tomo-chan as a girl is about a tomboy childhood friend and her childhood friend getting together, and they actually do end up getting together by the end of it. And I'm like, yeah, can we have more of this, please?
More of this, please.
More of this, Governor. More of this, please, for the poor.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah.
More? Anime companies are like, more?
Yeah.
You want more?
Yeah, tomboy childhood friend romance that ends well and quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I ask. More of those in this upcoming year, but I have a feeling that won't happen for a while. But hopefully, eventually, we'll see more. I liked this one where turns her degenerate brother into a little girl and does crap. Like it
does crap.
It was weird, but not nearly as off-putting as you would be led to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this one. I forget what the hell the title specifically called in English. This girl is a princess and she befriends a prodigy magic user, and they are lesbians and they kiss and they become a couple by the end, and that's also really good.
Yes, it says girls love. Fantasy girls love. Isn't girls love a fantasy?
Yeah, girls love is very subjective, it seems. Alright. Yeah, there's a lot of plan to watch things because I did not get a lot of chances to see many things for sure. Farming Life in Another World, also very solid. I'm really glad I saw it. Saving 8... hold on, I have the official title here somewhere. No. I said no, that's not it. Saving 80,000 gold in Another World for my retirement. Like, that was a really good one. Have you ever seen the anime Gate?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so what they end up doing is it's just like, oh, she can just go between her regular Earth world and this fantasy world whenever she wants. Like that's the only isekai I've ever heard that can actually do that. And I'm like, that is exactly what I was hoping for. It's like the most refreshing isekai I've seen in a while.
That's good.
And it kind of got overlooked.
Nice to have a franchise and a genre you're familiar with surprise you a little bit.
Yeah, and like there were a lot of really good isekai in winter 2023 for sure. This one, and also Handyman Saito in Another World, which was also really solid, and Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. Thankfully, it's getting a sequel, which like all the food was really great. I highly recommend that one. Nagatoro Season 2, we watched that one together. That was great. Shield Girl Defense Turtle thing also got a second season. That was pretty good.
Wasn't Uzaki Season 2 also? Doesn't that also come out this year?
No, that was late last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was late last year that bled into 2023. That's probably why I got confused.
Yeah. And speaking of, there's going to be a lot, and I do mean a lot of bleed through into January for me for anime, because I'm only now getting around to Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and I'm almost finished with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the anime I've been watching the most this year has been One Piece.
All right. Then we have Spring 2023.
Mm.
What from that was notable for you?
I haven't seen any of these because I haven't seen season 2 of Smartphone.
Yeah. I will say the dub is noticeably a little bit less because the main actor and one of them didn't return, but
That's unfortunate.
yeah, but actually it's very solid, like one of the highest 9s I've ever given out.
Okay.
Because it doesn't really lose its beat very much.
Oh, that's good. I'll probably check it out. When I have the time.
Yeah, and hopefully...
yeah. Go ahead.
What was this one? Christ, I don't remember. I barely remember this one. Oh yeah, this is another one of those. Oh, I wake up as a child, and I'm a child with magic powers and shit. It's like getting a little sick of this one. Not gonna lie. Well, this kind of like it happened with Mushoku Tensei. It happened with I forget what the hell it was called. It was last year. There was this one that everybody likes, but I don't fucking like at all. There's Kuma Bear Punch, sequel season to Kuma Bear was solid as well. Dr. Stone, I haven't really said much about it on my channel. I finally watched all of it except for the latest season, which I will hopefully be getting to very soon. Absolutely love this show. All right, Tonikawa or the Fly Me to the Moon season 2, also very solid. I think it's called The Galaxy Next Door. Really great. This one. There's also been a lot of shows with like there's like a there's like Nagatoro, except it's 2 kids that are even younger than that. This is nothing like that. This is just wholesome and absolutely adorable. Highly recommend this one. Alright, next up, Summer. Thankfully there's not that many. Mostly just ones that I plan to watch, but yeah. This one's okay. The one with the becomes a sweet chef in another world. My Tiny Senpai is cute.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, that one was nice. I hope it gets a second season, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That was definitely like a nice little show.
Yeah, but the best of the season is absolutely Vending Machine in Another World. I am so glad it's getting a second season. It fucking deserves it. But you might be thinking, well, what about Zom 100? That only finished like 5 days ago. Yeah, it's been 5. Yeah, it got delayed, and all the episodes remaining released on, I think it was Netflix or Crunchyroll on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I think it's on both Netflix and Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I'll be getting around to that eventually, and I'm pretty sure it'll be better in a lot of ways. Maybe another 10. We'll see. I don't know. Here's one that people don't like. Level 1. It was called My Unique Skill Makes Me OP Even at Level 1. And I'm like, I like this one a lot. Like the fucking okay. So this guy has like S-class drop rates. Like if people get like 1 carrot from an enemy, he gets multiple carrots from an enemy. And it's like that. That's already, yeah. And like, oh look, a corporate slave. This guy experiences the worst form of stress, overwork, and loneliness. Wow, that actually describes a lot of these characters, doesn't it? It's almost like being a corporate slave. Your job sucks or something. Yeah, another thing that Zom 100 has in common.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw the Devil is a Part-Timer season 2 on there.
I need to. Yeah, I only watched like one episode of that or something. I don't know. Like, I am very behind on a lot of these. Okay, now here's fall. Like, okay, all those were like not like 7, 8. Look at how many of these fucking things are there. Look at how many.
I do want to watch Furin though.
Yeah, that one's gonna be really good. I'm positive. Yeah. Okay.
Like, and I'm gonna watch it dubbed too.
Yeah, no. Feel free, by all means. My anime pick of fall 2023 was definitely I'm in love with the villainess, and I hope it gets a second season because like
The girls love too.
yeah, it's like this Ray Taylor absolutely loves Claire Francois. She isekai'd into her into this world, loving the villainess from outside, and like and that changes things quite a bit. And like really hope it gets a second season. Highly recommend it. Animation's a little stilted, but it's all right. Then there's giving the disgraced noble a lessons in naughtiness, except the naughtiness is just eating a lot of sweets and playing video games and stuff like that.
Ooh, how scandalous.
Yeah. Also solid. Hope it gets a second season as well. VR MMO, very generic. Actually changed from the changed a little bit in the ending from the original source material to something worse. So goodbye, and not gonna miss it too much. Jotaro season 3 definitely more than there's like so fucking many. All right, yeah. Berserker Gluttony. Aside from having Berserk being 2 big letters, trying to trick people, manga readers. It's actually a really solid show, and I'm glad it ended as it did. Spy Family season 2. Finally finished that yesterday.
Still have to watch that.
Yeah,
just Spy Family in general.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. You watch that soon, all right? All right, yeah, definitely highly recommend it. Looking forward to the movie, hopefully releasing on website soon. And now here's my and here's Girlfriend season 2, like a very good show about just I love that, absolutely fantastic show. And I hope it gets it gets another season 3, hopefully, maybe. There's a lot here, very much a lot here. Here's 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Like, you would think this one is low effort, and like, oh, well, like, after a couple of the girls get introduced, there's going to be more introduced, but they won't be as focused on. No, everyone gets screen time. There's effort in this fucking show, and I love it for that, and I am so glad that it gets a second season soon. Yeah. Highly recommend it. Absolutely everything about it. Tear Moon Empire. This girl gets executed, but gets rewinds to before, like years before, and it's it's like my next life. What was it? I think it was My Next Life as a Villainess, All Roads Lead to Doom, except this one is a bit different than that, and this one's very solid. I hope it gets another season.
For sure, it's listed as a comedy, since you said it was like a girl that gets executed at the beginning. It's like, that doesn't sound very funny.
Yeah. All right, and then we have I Will Survive Using Potions. Decent show. Wish the animation and stuff didn't look as generic, I guess you could say, but it was pretty solid. And this girl is very devious, the one that uses the potions. Like, it's a pretty solid thing. And then for the final one, I finished Stardust Telepath. It says girls love. No, there
It's
are
a lie.
there are hints of it, like the pink one liking the main girl, but no, it doesn't go anywhere, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. As you can see, there are a lot of holdovers. Undead Unluck, I'm waiting for that one to finish. This one's probably going to finish soon. I don't know about that one. And Dr. Stone, I'll probably try to finish that one next, and then maybe this one too.
Mm-hmm.
Like fall 2023 was fucking goated, I must say.
Mm.
Yeah, and quick look at winter into the future, and there is also quite a few. Well, there's a number on my list, but I need to also add a few more now that I know there's a couple more that I want to look into, but I'll save that for later. All right, and now the final category before I faint after talking too much is top 5 games of the year.
Mm. All right, I have that list too.
All right. About to fucking keel over.
Keel over.
Keel over and die.
Keel over and die. No, don't die now. You're still recording.
True. Oh yeah. A delicious dungeon over here for this one is definitely the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I mean Studio Trigger, so I have to watch it.
Yeah, Studio Trigger. The trailers have looked pretty promising, and more promises of food. So there you go.
Ooh, food.
Yeah, food with anime with food in it. Usually a good sign. Campfire cooking was like that. Not to mention Restaurant to Another World. I watched season 1, solid. Season 2, I have yet to watch, but we'll see. All right. Do you have your list?
I do.
All right. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Put that there. Okay. And to clarify why I didn't have as much time for the fall anime season is because of the trip and a few other things that happened this month. And as far as my thoughts on Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully it will maintain this really high quality for the rest of the show. All right. Games of the year. Do you have any honorable mentions before we get into it?
Well, honorable mentions would be a game that like I've been playing almost religiously, but didn't come out this year, so it doesn't really count as a game of the year contender. Genshin Impact.
Okay.
That a game that will make it onto the top five. Have taken over my life a little bit, but I absolutely love the world, love the characters, and just really fun.
My honorable mention is The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure because it originally didn't release this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but actually, even less so than my number one. But yeah, yeah. Azure was the second of the Crossbell duology, and it was arguably better than the original. But like I have, the game was solid. And everything was great about it. Just like fantastic game as a whole. But like it's just going into that like a placement in the series where it probably ties with like 3 other entries as far as quality is concerned. It's that good. All right. What's your number 5?
Resident Evil 4 remake.
I have that at my number 3.
Yeah, I see. But yeah, definitely a very solid remake of an already solid game. It's like lots of fun to play. It's a lot scarier than the original was, but definitely, but never lost the sense of fun that the original had as well.
Yeah, I really like what they did with Leon and Ashley and their relationship and the whole thing, and I love that. Like Ashley is like, ooh, maybe we should team up again. Like I could be your apprentice or something. I'm like, yes, please do that. That'd be great. I'd appreciate that instead of what they did in Resident Evil 6. I hope that maybe that leads to something. I don't know.
Yeah, watch Resident Evil 9 have Ashley be the main character.
I would love it if Resident Evil 9 was literally like the characters from 4 and the gameplay of 5. 4 plus 5 equals 9. That'd be an amazing coincidence. But yeah,
right.
All right, number 5 for me is Pikmin 4. Game that's been in development for a very long time, and I think it was pretty well worth the wait. I did not expect there to be a Pikmin game with upgrading your captain and the abilities of Ochi, a new bestest boy, but I was pleasantly surprised by that, and like the kind of things you could pull off with Ochi and your captain doing all kinds of things and literally just being like, okay, well, I can literally throw Pikmin as Ochi. That's awesome. At least I think that's what I can do. I could be wrong. But yeah, like just like and. They call it Dandori, but multitasking is very important in Pikmin 4. There are challenges that you can do to rescue castaways, and there's also a mode that mimics the first Pikmin game, and it is very difficult. You have half the time, and like it's not nearly as I guess forgiving as the first game was. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely very and you could also actually get white and purple onions like you couldn't in the original games, and I'm like, yes, now I can make as many purple Pikmin as I want. And they brought back purple and white Pikmin, and those things all combined together to make one fantastic little Pikmin game, and I'm glad that I played it. I'm not sure if it's better than Pikmin 2, but it is pretty close if it isn't on the same level. Yeah, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, I just bought that last night.
It is a very, very, very good game. Like I played a little bit of it on Steam, but I played a lot more of it when I got an Xbox Series X. Uh, very beautiful visuals, has excellent music and sound design. I'm really glad that it won for best like sound mixing or something at the Game Awards. Definitely deserved it.
Yeah, why that? Yeah, it'd be weird if it didn't.
Yeah, I would have been really mad if it didn't. Even if I never played the game, I still would have been mad if it didn't, just because of the stuff I've seen of it.
Yeah.
But
I definitely am looking forward to getting into the characters like Chai, 808, and especially Peppermint.
yeah, Peppermint, and then Corsica, she scratches a certain itch.
Yeah, Peppermint
uh,
is probably going to be my favorite character. She's voiced by
yeah,
Erica Lindbeck, and it's
yeah.
just like,
It's like, yeah, when you're voiced by Erica Lindbeck, that's usually like automatically you're gonna be in the top tier of characters in that in a game.
yeah. All right. My number 4 is Fire Emblem Engage,
Hmm.
and no, it's not about marrying people in Fire Emblem.
Yes, it is.
No, especially not in this one because there's barely any romance in it at all.
Yeah,
That's why it's not as high because like they're just like basically just friend zoning every fucking buddy.
yeah. I mean, that's why I like Three Houses more.
Yeah, um, but Engage like the options to build your characters exactly how you want them. The flexibility of that is very nice. I have
Oh yeah, totally.
my favorite unit is Lapis.
Hmm.
She excels in speed and dealing critical hits, and like
Hmm.
you get her build just right. Like give her like a critting sword, a sword master class, and Lynn as her emblem ring, and watch
Hmm.
her destroy everything around her.
Yeah, like one thing I've noticed about the Fire Emblem games I've played is that if you build up magic, you could be like a god.
Uh, yeah, but
Like,
I will say though that it is definitely pretty pretty effective to just crit with a sword a lot.
yeah, like well, just when I played like Three Houses and when I played of Engage, but with Three Houses, I built up Lysithea. It's like she just nukes everybody
Oh yeah,
around her.
believe you me, Lysithea is also very like you just need to get like a certain couple of units to be really solid, and then
Mhm.
you'll be good with like half of the required units you need.
Yeah, she's like the cutest tactical nuke I've ever seen.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Leone with a lance and bow and things is very nice too.
Hmm.
What's your number 3?
Final Fantasy 16.
The thing with Clive.
Yeah, the thing with Clive and Jill. The thing that was apparently blowing up a few PS5s. But yeah, that was definitely a very solid game. I still prefer a remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake over it. I think I like the combat system of remake more than I liked 16. But I think from a storytelling standpoint, this movie, the game's like really like amazing. The graphics are really good. I love the characters, and it's a very sad. And it does cool things with some of the gameplay. How it kind of changes genres a little bit during some boss fights. Definitely very epic in scale, and very highly recommended.
Yeah. All right. My number 3 is Resident Evil 4 remake, and we already kind of went over that, but just a quick
Mm-hmm.
refresher. Really like the gameplay. The improvements that they made, adding a chest to store your stuff, keychain things to augment your stats and abilities and such, and like a thing or here and there, and making the story better. Lewis sticks around a little more. And just everything about it is very solid. Like parrying with a knife is very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely solid. Does not replace the original. It's like a it's like two people who basically no uh, I was gonna say like an alternate universe twin. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, whatever. Point is that it doesn't.
You're going somewhere with it.
Yeah, I don't want to go somewhere. It doesn't replace the original, but it's definitely a well worth game to play in its own right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number two.
Honkai Star Rail, which is from the same people who brought you Genshin Impact. I had to check to make sure that it did come out in 2023, and yeah, it did. It came out on mobile in April, and then came out on consoles in October. But yeah, it's if you like the Trails games, you'll like Honkai Star Rail.
Really?
But yeah, it has almost the same gameplay as Trails. It's like where you could you could use things to break the enemy down and break them and then do attacks on them and all that stuff. It's a very solidly made game, and like again, the characters are great. I love the story that they're playing. I think the main character in this one is better than the one in Genshin. Has a lot more personality, talks more. And yeah, it was just like I haven't like there's a couple of cheap bosses here and there, or just cheap enemies here and there. But when you build like a really solid team, you can pretty much like decimate anything.
Mm-hmm. My number two is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Like this and Breath of the Wild, the more time you put into them, the more you get out of it. I was along for the ride for the whole time for the first month of when Tears of the Kingdom was out. I followed all the duplication glitches that were coming out and farmed all the materials, got all the weapons. And it took a very long time, but I was very satisfied with what I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would say the reasons why the other three aren't further up the list is 4 is a remake, and I don't really think that's fair.
Right.
Engage, the story is a little too cheesy and probably predictable, and Pikmin 4 feels a little like for Pikmin 4 you can only get like the white and purple onions at the end of the game, so you can't really take advantage of them. Yeah, so but Tears of the Kingdom, it builds on top of what Breath of the Wild already had and makes things very fun. You can fuse a mop with a spring. And you can make a weapon that pushes all kinds of enemies away at the speed of a damn cheetah. You can engulf things in flames with having a torch at the end of a stick. And suddenly it's just like that. And if you put like into like magic rods, you can put different gems. You can have different effects. Like a topaz is electric, a sapphire is water, a ruby is fire, and a star piece, I think, is like sort of light attack. I don't know. It's like the possibilities are endless. Not just with fusing your weapons, but also making structures and other things. Like they knew what they were doing when they were doing this kind of thing. It is masterful work here. But there has to be one better. There always is, and it's once again another instance of 2017 having a Zelda game getting beaten out. But this time, not by. But this. Wait, no. Zelda being involved. Wait. In something getting beaten out of something else. I don't know. Yeah, but let's get to your number one.
Well, my number one is Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Like Tears of the Kingdom for me is Breath of the Wild but refined.
Yeah, yeah.
But like when people go like, oh, it's the same game as Breath of the Wild. Like, well, Breath of the Wild was already great, and this one was just even better. But
I will say though, they did downgrade Zelda's design by having her have short hair. 0 out of 10. Fucking hate it.
throw a 10 worst game of the year. But like I really liked I think the fuse mechanic is like I'm pretty sure that's what they spent the extra year of development time on. Because I remember them saying they could have released it last year if they wanted to, but they wanted to spend an extra year on it. Uh, but uh, but yeah, the fusing mechanic was really good. Yeah, definitely like even though the map is almost the same as the one from Breath of the Wild, there's definitely a lot more things to do, a lot more things to
There's an
find.
underground. There's
Yeah,
the
there's
sky.
underground, there's the sky, like and the fact that the game like ran like almost like 100% smoothly with all that was like really impressive for
Yeah,
for what it
like you
on.
compare Korok Forest from Breath of the Wild to how it runs in Tears of the Kingdom. It's night and
Hmm.
day.
Yeah. Even for a game that's running on like really old hardware, it's like insanely beautiful, and I'm actually surprised it did not win Best Art Direction at the Game Awards.
No, I'm surprised Hi-Fi Rush didn't win Best Art Direction of the year.
Yeah, that too. I'm like Jesus Christ, what did win?
I think it was. Trying to remember. It was either an indie game or Alan Wake. Wait, no, Alan Wake 2 was somebody else.
Oh no, I think it was Alan Wake too.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah, I think it was, and I was like really? I mean, it looks good, but it's definitely not those games.
This is the reason
But
why
yeah,
there were COD games for so many years because people fucking love realistic looking shit. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm a more stylized person myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, like it was like I was very immersed in the world and the story and the different characters. Like I just like my only like real complaint was that whenever after you fought a boss, the cutscene that happens afterwards almost never changes. Depending on the order that you do it in, it's always like the same story when you meet the descendants.
I will say, Tolan and Riju were definitely my two favorite of the new Guardians of Light or whatever the hell.
Yeah, it's like but other than that, fantastic game. Like if they don't make another one that follows this continuity, it's fine. It definitely ends on a really good note,
Yeah.
and so there you go.
Yeah, I'd be fine with just going back to the old temple by temple formula,
Yeah,
if we need to. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I guess it happened again. It happened in 2020 and happened now. My number one is Legend of Heroes: Trails into Reverie.
Nice.
Yeah. This game was originally released around the time of Cold Steel 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, was it 2019? I don't remember. Yeah, and so it was originally just released on PS4, but when the PS5 came out, they remastered it for PS5, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the version that we got.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and like load times are great. It runs really well, and that's not even counting the story. Basically, being the epilogue of the Erebonian and Crossbell arcs and leading into what Calvert has in store for us.
Mm-hmm.
Characters are all top notch as usual,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really yeah. And I'm really glad that Zero and Azure were released in the last year and a half to really get us invested in Crossbell's story.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was a really solid move on Falcom and NIS's part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, well, and I really like the team of C, Swin, Nadia, and Lapis.
Mm.
Like their story, like they're like the characters that they're a breath of fresh air from all the friendship is the winner to everything. And like friendship is always the answer. Our bonds will always bring it. Like they just take that and are like, are you serious? Like it's like how Cozy Glow was in season 9 of MLP. It's like she was just
Uh-huh.
like taking the piss out of everything.
Mm-hmm. Friendship is magic, is it though?
Yeah, and I really like their like how they're written, all the all the voicing and everything. Everybody absolutely top notch. My only also there was like there's the Reverie Corridor, and it has a lot of fun mini game. It has some mini games. It has some events you can do. Literally, fucking do beach volleyball type shit with the both of the main casts.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on dates with the girls and everything. It's like, yeah. And I think there's actually even VR support. I could be wrong.
I probably have to look into it, but I'd be surprised if there was. It's like, ooh, VR support.
I would. Speaking of which, that's one thing I should probably get next year: a PSVR 2. All right. But yeah, there's the only problem I have with it is that they could have at the beginning of the game, before you get into the story stuff, they ask you if you want to switch who Reen chose in the finale of Cold Steel 4. They could have done that with Lloyd at the specifying, do you want to pick who you want from Trails to Azure? Because there's an event like that sort of in Azure as well. But they didn't. They just did Reen, and that was it. I'm like they have like special dialogue with Reen and whoever you chose, and I'm like, fuck off. I wanted to see Noelle get a moment with Lloyd. That would have been nice, but instead, no, we're not doing that.
No,
we
don't do that here.
No, we're just gonna have them each have a moment with Lloyd, and I mean, like, yeah, that probably makes sense, but at the same time, no special moments at all. Anyway, but like that is like small potatoes compared to just how fantastic this game really is. And I've been following along with somebody's playthrough of Cold Steel 1, and they're almost at the final boss with Crow and the Divine Knights for the very first time, and I'm just thinking how far we've come since way back when.
Right.
And it's just it's absolutely fascinating, everything. And I will still prefer Cold Steel 4 to any of these games and most games happening. In fact, they're literally making they're literally porting it over to the PS5 early next year with with most likely all the bells and whistles that Reverie has as far as the all the benefits from the PS5. And I'm thinking, yeah, with that, it really will be no contest that Cold Steel 4 is still the best one, but Reverie is damn close. It is probably third in my views. Cold Steel 2 is second, and 4 is number 1.
Yeah, I'm sure that the PS5 version of Cold Steel 4 will have like all of the DLC that they made for it. Like,
I hope so. I don't want to rebuy it.
Oh yeah, much like when
Persona 5.
Yeah, or much like when XT ported over 1 and 2 to the PS4, it came with all of the DLC that they made for it.
Yeah. Talk about more games that need to be ported over to the Switch. Cold Steel 1 and 2, Sky Trilogy. Hopefully that'll be the case. But I'm pretty sure that that there already are Game of the Year contenders coming out next year, and I'm pretty sure mine will be Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door Remastered.
Oh yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Rebirth will probably be on your list.
Yeah, probably will. More than likely.
Yeah, we'll catch up, and hopefully by this time next year I'll be in a new place without as many dog walking restrictions as I once had. I'll have a new job, a new place, and maybe new internet. We'll see.
That'll be nice.
All right. And with that, that'll be it for our year discussion thingies. Tomorrow we'll be for like a little bit we'll be taking a break, and next time you see us will probably be for I don't know,
something.
We'll something went bump. All right, that'll be it for that. So this is Blast 6.
This is Equestron.
Signing off for the year. Ta-ta, everyone. Happy end of 2023, and may 2024 in the future be better than this.
Bye-bye.